There is so much that is amazing about Peru. I think first and foremost, the people are what make it really special. They are truly heart centered. I mean, truly heart centered. They live from a place of heart. And yes, I know in the big cities like in Lima and stuff like that, it's more westernized, it's more commercialized. But we were in Cusco and then the Sacred Valley, Pisac. And the Sacred Valley is, some people call it the heart of Mother Earth. Some people around that area, they call it the womb of Mother Earth. But it truly is the heart of the planet. And just the energy around there is something that you can feel. And it's really hard to explain. People would say, oh my gosh, it's so life changing. And I think, what does that really mean? So that's what I'm going to try to do in these videos is explain what that really means and why it's life changing. Okay, the first big day that I want to explain, we were in the retreat center in the Sacred Valley, and we learned about the wisdom of the four directions, Mother Earth and Father Sky. Now, Mother Earth is Pachamama, and Father Sky was Pachatata. And like that, it sounds like, oh, yay, four directions, Mother, Father, that's cool. You know, when you're like in a church or a place like that, and it just feels holy, and you're just like, oh, it feels so good here. Even when you set foot in a spa, it's like, oh, this feels so good here. That's how it just feels there. It's, you literally just feel your heart opening and you feel this settling in. And you're in this valley and there are enormous mountains. I don't exactly know how tall all of them are, but when we hiked Rainbow Mountain, that was 17,000 feet. So you're in this valley with these mountains all around and the Andes. And the belief is that not all mountains have a spirit in them, but some mountains do have a spirit. And that spirit is an Apu. So when you are connecting with the Apu, the spirit in the mountain, it's just like you're connecting with Jesus, God, Buddha, an angel, a wise master. It's a relationship. So when you are at the feet of a master and you're having a relationship, it's that opening and that receptive stuff that you're feeling. And that feeling just comes over you. You don't even have to try. So, quick summary, the North is about power, but it's utilizing your power for good. It's not about, and I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to, dominate the world. It's truly about stepping into your power in a healthful way. So when you turn to the North and there was a mountain with the Apu there, you are asking the spirit of the North. You are asking, for direction, for connection. Help me, bless me, help me be a good leader. Help me own my power and use my power for good in a healthful way. And we spent quite a long time working at that direction. North, then we'll go to West. West was a direction that I didn't really resonate with to start, but I ended up loving. The West is about death. Think about Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch of the West. She's melting, she's melting. It's about death. It's about decay. It's about destruction. So I'm like, no, I'm happy, I'm positive. Well, you have to have the death and destruction, the end of every season. All life ends. In order to get anything new, you have to die and transform. So the spirit of the West, you spend time in prayer, in meditation, asking to take this away, asking to destroy relationships that are inauthentic, that are holding me back, destroy my own beliefs about things that aren't true. Destroy, get rid of whatever it is, illusion, false belief, lack, destroy it all. And it's terrifying. It truly is terrifying. But when you go about it with that spirit of it is the end of the year. You can't hang on to the leaves forever. You have to let them die in order to fertilize and nurture and, regrow. And since everything is connected to nature, thinking about one of their spirit birds is the condor. And the condor eats, the dead animals, the dead bodies. And then the animals poop. And that gives nutrients to the earth. And it's just that whole cycle of death. And that's what West is all about. And I spent a lot of time in the West. Like I said earlier, it was hard, but incredibly powerful. Northwest. Let's go to South. We'll just kind of move around. South is everything that you might think it is. It's the blossoming. It's the joy. It's the delicious gifts of what you receive when you were brave enough to stand in your power and to let things die. So you can have this beautiful flourishing of wisdom, of intent, of relationship, of connection, of everything. So we did offerings in the South, plucking live flowers and just offering them for more, to appreciate and stand there in a space of gratitude for the beautiful things that we would get. And then moving back around to East again, sort of like you would think, it's the dawn. It's that, it's the fresh start. It's the opening up of the new, and it's being willing after you have let things go, then to open your hand to collect more. And I kept having that vision, the closed fist. You're hanging on to your money, you're hanging on to your power, you're hanging on to your relationships. And it's scary to do this and to drop them. But once you have that empty hand, then it's that the East is that opening. So then the South can come in and things can blossom and you can have new, better things. Now then Pachamama is the earth. And she supports us all. And again, it was so much deeper than you might imagine. We would lay on the ground with our hearts to Mother Earth and, our cheek. And she would say, our guide, you're laying your cheek on the bosom of your mother. And whether your earth mother supports you or doesn't, Pachamama's got you. And she wants your tears. Well, then you're just like, because it felt so good to be held and to be stable. And she, Mother Earth, needs that respect and that love. And it's funny because, again, we talked a lot about, the death and the destruction and the poop, because poop nourishes and all the stuff that we need to do to give back to our mother, to nourish her so she can support us. And just having that respect for the plants, the grass, the whole cycle. And it was so apparent the ways we over cultivate. When you look at this big, beautiful valley and the animals that die and puke and poop and do all these things and the nutrients that brings. And it's this amazing fertile valley at the bottom with, I can't remember if it was 4,000 or 5,000 varieties of potatoes. Way more varieties than we have ever had here, and they taste amazing. But it's because of all of the nutrients in the earth, because it's not over cultivated. It's not a chemical fertilizer. It's just all nature. And they said there's a cure. There's a kind of potato that literally will cure anything. And they cultivate that. And their belief is that spirit wouldn't give us a disease without giving us a cure. So a lot of those cures are in the plants, the potatoes, the food, the fruit. And those are some healthy people, let me tell you. So connected, so beautiful. Okay, so then the last direction, and this is the end for this video, was, Father Sky, Pachatata. And same thing, I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's the sky. Oh my gosh. Have you ever laid on your back on the ground and just looked at the sky? Because it's amazing. And then if you're thinking about what is the perfect father? What does the perfect father do? He protects, he teaches, he guides, he loves, he is present. And then when you start actually thinking about, and then think about Heavenly Father too. I mean, that's all, up, sky, Heavenly Father, all of the things the Earth Father doesn't do or didn't know how to do. Again, you can go to the sky for that connection, for that teaching, for that guidance, for that wisdom. So we would lay there, Mother Earth supporting us, Pachamama supporting us, talking to the sky like, I need support. I need wisdom. I'm about to do this and I need resources. And then just the whole beauty of, I'm going to talk about sex here, but the whole beauty of resources. When you talk about the resource from a man in terms of sperm, to the woman who is the receptacle who creates from that, Mother Earth, Pachamama, needs the resources. Father Sky gives that resource. So just that whole beautiful connection that you need input from both. You need seed, nourishment, nurturing from both to create everything that's out there. So that's a lot. And that day we also talked about ancestry and where we came from, like our bones, our bodies, Chinese, Japanese, Scottish, Asia, Indian, Native American, whatever it is, like what is your ancestry? Northern European, African, whatever. When you think about what your ancestors did and reconciling some of the shame, because every culture has been a conqueror and or conquered at some point, and we're all such a mix, and reconciling like the violence that is in our past and the victimization that is in our past, and how, even though we were grown from that, how we can continue to connect with Pachamama, Pachatata, the spirits in each direction, to ask to be centered and balanced where we are and as we are, using the wisdom of our ancestors. Our ancestors did some really good things and our ancestor did some really bad things, and how to take all of that and move forward. So that was the first part. More to come.